Movies and Martinis celebrates women and diversity in the entertainment world
by ranking trending movies, shows, and books
with two completely different perspectives and ranked by delicious martinis.
Listen to find out how many martinis we felt it was worth.
And learn about the women who have written, performed, and/or directed in everything we have rated.
A new episode is available every Thursday on your favorite podcast platform and YouTube. What's up, everybody? Welcome to our podcast. I'm Priya.
And I'm Mercy. Hey, Priya, how you doing today?
Cheers.
This is a virtual cheers because I cannot be, I'm fully present, but I'm not physically present.
Yeah, she's off camera today, guys, but that's okay. So if you're listening to us, it's not a problem. And if you're watching on YouTube, you see me, and then you see this lovely caricature of Mercy.
I know, isn't that cool? It's actually so much better.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a little. Oh,
so
no problem. It's like a little rebranding, sort of. I know we rebranded last year with a nice little 70s retro look on our podcast, but we really wanted caricatures of ourselves. So we've just been messing around with different versions, and we finally fell on this one. We're like, okay, that's it. We're not working on it anymore.
It's so fun and so animated and so us. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. So we hope you guys like it as much as we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so today is November Open Bar.
Yes, and that is top shelf only for you guys. We only talk about the top stuff because there's just so much out there. Who can keep up?
Yes. Yep. And do you want to share the disclaimer?
Well, yeah, I don't think we'll have any because I don't think we'll say anything. You think we will?
I don't know. Really? Oh. Sometimes we do.
Well, you're right. I guess better safe than sorry. So
yes,
if you're listening to us talking about any kind of show that you still haven't watched, maybe just kind of cover your ears so we don't spoil it. So we're just giving you a heads up on a spoiler alert on some of the shows that we've already watched. Anything else that we're going to talk about is coming up, but we have watched some stuff already.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So why don't you kick it off with what you're watching?
Yeah. Okay. So I took some here for the team because I watched this movie on Netflix that was trending, and it just happened to be that it was like the day it came out. It was the number one show. You know how they put like the top 10 shows?
Yeah.
And it was number one, and I thought, oh, cool! I caught one right when it came out. I'm gonna watch it, and like a quarter of it in, I'm like, oh my God, what am I watching? This is like a high school movie. But I kept going, and halfway through, I paused it. I got a phone call from my daughter, and I told her, I'm watching this movie. You're not going to believe this. She goes, oh my God. She goes, Kyle watched it yesterday. He told me, don't even bother.
Oh.
So like, great. So I said, whatever, I'm just going to finish it. And so to all of you, again, with the spoiler alert, the name of the movie is Time Cut. So it's a thriller on Netflix, and it's a bunch of teenagers, and the girl finds a time machine that takes her back 20 years to when her sister was assassinated. So the plot was interesting. The characters were cute. It was a little bit engaging. It was too cheesy. It's all I can say. But, whatever. I watched it. It was fine. It was fine.
You took one for the team, like you said.
I took one for the team. Then I also watched Woman of the Hour, which I thought was interesting, also on Netflix, because it was based on the dating game Killer, which was a serial killer. And so that was all right. It wasn't great. It wasn't Silence of the Lambs, but it was good. And at the end, I was really, really freaked out with all the facts that it shows at the end of all the people, all the women that he killed. It was kind of gory to think of that. So that was interesting. I'm not going to spoil it. It was worth the watch, so watch it, especially if you like those true crime kind of movies. So go for it. I then watched Martha, which is the Martha Stewart documentary on Netflix.
Okay, I really do want to hear, like, was it worth it? Like, because she's interesting.
So to my taste, I feel it was a little bit dragged out. It was too long. Maybe not too long because she is 80 something. I think she's 82 or 84.
Dang.
So it's been a long life. So it's not that the documentary was too long and it's in a movie form, which is great. It's that it was a little bit slow for my taste. I think it's quicker. So I did find myself a couple of times fast forwarding, and then it got really interesting again. And the whole concept of this badass woman that was just such a perfectionist and such a go-getter, how she turns her life around is pretty remarkable. And the fact that she's so relevant and so alive and inspiring still at this age on what you can and cannot do, not necessarily that you would follow, I think, how she did it, but the fact that she was so relentless about it and that she was not going to let anybody stop her. So I think it's empowering to watch. Bottom line, she's a badass, and and she proves it here, because anybody else would have just crawled under a rock and that would have been that. And she turned that shit around and came out bigger than ever. So I give her that. Yeah. And then the last one I watched was Disclaimer, which is based on a book, and it's on Apple TV, and it's a thriller. And at times it was a little too dark, and it's kind of all over the place, but it's interesting. And I'm not going to tell you more because I still have to watch the last episode of the first season. I don't know if there'll be a second season, because I think once the first season is done, I'm over it. I was just committed, and I made my way through it. But really, that last episode is going to really make it or break it for me. It is interesting. I'm going to have to let you know on that one. I'm still about it. What did you watch?
Okay. So I just finished Agatha All Along. And it was so good. I kind of feel like, so Marvel had another show out last year called Loki, and it's based on the god Loki. Yeah, and it was so good. Probably the best show that they came out with. I feel like Agatha and Loki are like neck and neck right there. It was just so good, and I was so immersed. I wanted to be a witch. I am a witch. I even got my purple nails for Halloween because I was just like, oh my God, I love this show so much, And Audrey Plaza's in it, Elizabeth Hahn, some amazing, amazing actresses, and it really got your emotions going. It was just so good. But it just finished, and I found out today there's no season 2. So I'm a little bummed.
Maybe they'll come up with it next year in October?
No, because it's part of the Marvel. You know how Marvel comes out with like their schedule of movies and shows. So this movie is this show is right before a movie that's coming out. So it's like a precursor, sort of.
Okay. So marketing for it.
Yeah, and it was so good. I'm also watching. Go ahead.
Sorry, before you move on, do you feel that it finished, like it was completed, or did it leave you kind of on a cliffhanger?
It wrapped up in the end, but I would love more. I want more.
You just want more. That's a different problem.
Yeah, I want more. I'm also watching from Hulu, and it's a psycho thriller, horror, really, really good show. I've been watching it. I've mentioned it before. Yeah, it's gory. And it's this group of people that get stuck in a town and they can't leave. And every time a new batch of people show up, they see a tree, and that tree is a signal that they're stuck. And they keep on seeing the tree. And then they find the town, and then they're stuck in the town. But the kicker is at night, they're not zombies, but these like monsters come out and like terrorize and kill people who are outside. So you have to be inside with the talisman hanging on your door to not be killed. And it's just really good. It's really good. It's on its third season. Yeah, it's on its third season, and it's like halfway through right now. So it's just really good.
And you
The
watched the
next,
first two seasons?
huh? Yes,
Did you watch the first two seasons? Okay.
and I've mentioned it before on our podcast, other open bars. So I just started watching another show called Teacup that's available on Peacock. And
Okay.
Serena, the actress who plays Serena in Handmaid's Tale, is in it.
Okay.
It is so good. I literally watched 4 episodes, half of the season yesterday. The episodes are like 30 minutes. It's horror. I think it's like an alien sci-fi thing going on, except I'm not sure yet because it's just halfway through the season.
Okay.
But it's like showing all the signs, and it's like this family and a couple of neighbors get trapped in this area, and almost like a teacup trapping a wasp or a bee or something, they're trapped in this area and they can't cross these lines. And then the son, who's like 7 years old, is like possessed by the alien or the whatever this being is.
That other entity that hasn't shown itself yet.
Well, it doesn't have a body. It jumps from body to body. And then there's an assassin looking for this alien, and that assassin also jumps from body to body. So it's just like, it's crazy, and it's so good.
Okay.
So that's what I'm watching.
Cool.
So
all right,
what's coming out? Tell us what's coming out for you.
well,
what are you
that I'm really, really, really excited about, and I can't wait, and I'm like over the moon about is Wicked. So
yes,
big Wicked fan, and I've seen the play a couple of times, so I'm really psyched about it coming out. I'm even doing a girls' night here in Tennessee with a bunch of girls, and we're gonna go out and watch it on its release day, which is November 21st. It's a Thursday. And then you and I had already scheduled on the 22nd to record and share with everybody, I'm sure it's gonna be so great. That cast is crazy. They're crazy, great people, and so talented, and it's such a beautiful story, and I'm really psyched. And I just want to remind all the listeners, if they're not 100% familiar with Wicked, that the play, like every play, has an intermission. And so this movie is the first part of the play. So it ends where an intermission ends, or when intermission begins, that's where it ends. So this is only the first part. So there will be a second part. Absolutely.
I had no idea.
Yes.
I know this is like your realm. You're so into these plays, these Broadway plays. And when you come to New York, you beeline straight for the Broadway plays.
Yes. Love musicals and theater and all that crazy stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So it ends on a perfect note. And I'll leave it at that to not spoil it for anybody.
Okay.
But it ends right at intermission. So we'll be looking forward to the second half, which I'm sure will be just as amazing. So I have that out there. And then, of course, everybody's also excited about Gladiator 2 coming out.
Yes.
That's crazy. Yes. So our guy that we love, Pedro Pascal, is our main guy, but also Denzel Washington is in it.
Yes. Oh my God. He plays a bad guy, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's incredible. Again, a great cast. And they say that it's going to be just as amazing as the first one. We'll have to see and, go watch it and see if it's all that.
I can't wait.
Like they say. And that's coming out November 22nd at theaters.
I can't wait for that. Absolutely.
That's what I'm psyched about this month. What are you?
Okay, so I also had Gladiator on my list, and I had a short list because this month I was like, there's not much, just like really like chill movies coming out. I like the big stuff. I like the action and all that stuff. So on the 8th, November 8th, Heretic is coming out. It's like a psycho thriller with Hugh Grant. Psycho thriller / I'm not sure if it's a horror, but I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's coming out in theaters. And then other than Gladiator, I had Outlander, which is also coming out November 22nd. And it's the second half of season 7, which just happens to be the last season ever of the series. So it's based on books. Outlander is based on the book series. And it's been going for years now, like 8 years. And I just love the show. I've mentioned it before, guys, on our open bars. I know, and I love it. I highly recommend it. And we're just meeting the end of these characters. And I've been seeing them post online on their Instagrams, like, oh, last filming day, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, so sad. It's going to be over. It's going to be over.
I wanted to tell you now that I was listening to you talk about all these great movies, about this one movie. I believe it just came out. I mean, I just heard about it, but I had been hearing about, yeah, it did. It came out November 1st. I don't know who's seen it and who hasn't seen it. It is called Here. And it is actually a movie made with AI in it. It's so interesting. Yeah, it's so cool, Priya. So it's this family, and it has, the main characters are Tom Hanks and Robin Wright. And they are, they're this couple, and it's happening, the whole movie happens in one room. So it's like a living room setting, like the backdrop is living room. And it shows an entire lifetime of them being married. Like, I think they're married 50 or 60 years as they age. But the AI takes Tom Hanks and Robin Wright into their teen years.
Oh.
So you see them as teens, and they have to act as teens, which was challenging for Tom Hanks, who's in his 60s, to be able to jump on a couch and move and do certain things that teenagers would do, which is how this couple meets. But then it takes them all the way towards the end of their lives, and all the memories that they shared and all the times that they shared in that one room, all the good, the bad, and the ugly that makes a family. And so my oldest daughter, Raquel, went to see it, and she said, if you don't want to sit there dying, sobbing, maybe pass on it, but it's beautiful. She said, watching a whole lifetime within a 2-hour period, you're watching somebody's entire life, and it is just beautifully done.
Well, I have not seen the trailer. I have not heard of it until now, but what you're describing to me kind of reminds me of Up. Remember the movie Up?
Probably,
yeah. And like every time you get to that scene, you know what's going to happen. You're just like, oh.
Or The Notebook. The Notebook was the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is kind of cool because it has that AI component that enables the characters to be seen as teenagers, then as they are, and then as really elderly. So it was pretty cool. So there's another movie to watch Here. So
nice.
I think it's great reviews.
Nice. And so she's seen it already. It's out already.
Yes, November 1st. It came out at theaters November 1st.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, we'll add it to our list.
Yes,
TBR.
To our 1,000 TBR to
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining our November open bar, top shelf only. Hopefully Mercy will be back.
Oh, yes. Hopefully
yes.
Yes.
And I know I miss seeing your face. This is a bummer.
Thank you. Hey, I'm doing you a favor.
No. Dude. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. Like, share, follow, subscribe, all that great stuff. And we'll see you next week.
Priya, I'll see you next time. All right, guys. And by the way, one last thing, everybody. If there's something that we missed and you think we should know about, please let us know. Have a good one. See you later.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Bye.